This story is called My Cheating Wife is Pregnant. She doesn't want to get a paternity test. I'm going to get into this story here in a second. But I came across something that talked about when a child is born to marriage parents. Here is what I found, like all states in California. When a child is born to married parents, the law automatically assumes the woman's husband is the biological and legal father of the child. But when a child is born to unwed parents, the child has no legal father. So that brings us to the question about paying child support. Can the court order a man to pay child support without establishing legal paternity? The answer is no. The family courts cannot issue child support or child custody orders until paternity is established. I would beg to challenge all of that, because there are men out here that are paying for kids that are not even theirs. My daughter has been babysitting her little brother when my wife has custody of our son. I realized that my daughter was hiding something from me later. She told me that my wife is pregnant. Apparently she found out a couple of weeks ago but didn't want to speak up because she didn't think it was her place. Of course, I confronted my wife about the situation and demanded a paternity test because I'm not sure if the child is mine or not. Based on the timeline she provided, there's a good chance it might be mine. Obviously, I asked for a paternity test since my wife is still covered under my insurance. I don't think it's fair for me to be responsible for her medical bills if I'm not the father. However, she has refused to take the test at the moment. I told her that she would not receive my support if she doesn't take a paternity test, and I will remove her from my health insurance. She made it clear that she will not be getting any paternity test done, and she'll inform me once the baby is born to arrange for the test. It's just sad how she's choosing to weaponize this situation to hurt me when she's the one who broke up our marriage in the first place. I got myself into a terrible situation that I don't know how to deal with. Let's go over some of these comments. I'm assuming your divorce is still pending. I don't see an issue with removing her from your insurance. Now, unless your lawyer advises otherwise, the only support you should be giving her is directly related to your son's care. Anything else she's responsible for, and you shouldn't be paying for anything related to her. She chose this path and future. You should be doing everything you can to ensure your own future is a happier place. If you haven't already, move to a co-parenting app and speak with a lawyer about liabilities concerning the unborn baby to make sure you don't accidentally accept responsibility before a paternity test. I know you're still hurting from the betrayal, but move on from this dumpster fire as much as you're able. Good luck. This is the perfect reason why you do not sign that birth certificate. Listen to this person. This is true. My fiancé has a member of his family being sued for child support because he has his name on the birth certificate. Even though another guy has already been proven to be the father. The guy is working to get his name off the birth certificate. A paternity test while pregnant is as simple as a blood draw. The fact that she is hesitating to do that speaks volumes. Please do not take direction from your wife. Speak only to your lawyer about this and follow his advice. Maybe there is some way he can get a court order to compel the test. In the meantime, start using a co-parenting app. Stop talking about the pregnancy with your soon-to-be ex in case it in some way jeopardizes your case. She is not to be trusted. Yeah, your lawyer sounds remarkably cavalier about this. You can be forced to provide for a child for 18 years even though it's not yours. This is major. Do not sign anything. Make sure everyone knows the fraternity is in question. It's easier to do this before a baby is born. Contest paternity at every hearing. Do not get stuck holding the bag. This guy sounds upset. That's the most ridiculous thing ever. Can you not be taken off even if you prove you're not the father? What if you find out who the father is? It really seems like because the state doesn't want to take responsibility for the child. They will saddle any guy with the responsibility even if it's not theirs. This idea that any father is better than no father gets on my nerves. No one should have to be financially responsible for someone else for 18 years when they should have no legal obligation to. Here is a response to the previous comment. This is very common actually. It applies to people still married 300 days after the child is born generally and means he'll be placed on the birth certificate automatically. He usually has something like up to 4 years after the child is born to have this challenged via DNA test. Some cheaters execute Dorval while the worthwhile ones take accountability from the last update until now. Has she fully acknowledged her affair without blame shifting? I hate to say this, but more times the cheater is not worth saving because they refuse to do the hard work to fix themselves. The logic that they use to give themselves permission to cheat is still present and a threat to your marriage. If she refuses to do the hard work, you should stop saying she's your wife and start shifting your thoughts as soon-to-be ex-wife. It's 2 years and course can force a test. Insert, it's a trap meme and get out before you get screwed. Cut the cancer while you still have a chance. Name the AP as the father. Because course, only care if the child is provided. You need to not get pinned for paying for this child. Courts will lean towards the AP if they can confirm and pin the responsibility on him. I hope he's the only guy. Might be more a PS. This is the last comment I'll do. Unfortunately, you cannot make her take her prenatal paternity test. You can have your lawyer file a petition for the DNA test after birth. I doubt you will be able to remove her off of your insurance. If she is unemployed and has no other options for insurance, it's a fucked up situation. You don't want to support her through this pregnancy, especially if it's a PS baby. But what if it's yours? Tough spot to be in. Yeah, he is in a tough spot if his wife won't take a paternity test. The most important thing for him, I think, is to not sign anything related to that unborn child and to try to take his lawyer's advice. Hopefully his lawyer is giving him good advice. Until next